Howdy, partners! Get ready for a rootin' tootin' good time in the kitchen because today we're making brownies. These chocolatey squares of happiness are a classic treat that's sure to put a smile on everyone's face. Whether it's a rainy afternoon or a celebratory get-together, brownies are always a good idea. Get ready to whip up a batch of fudgy, gooey goodness. This recipe is perfect for little hands to help with, so put on your aprons and let's get baking. Before we begin our brownie adventure, let's round up our trusty ingredients. These are the heroes of our story, the key players that will transform into delicious, gooey brownies. Don't worry, we're keeping it simple and delicious. No need for fancy gadgets or hard-to-find ingredients, just the basics, but oh so tasty. First up, we need 1/2 cup or 1 stick of unsalted butter. Make sure it's at room temperature so it mixes well. Next, grab 1 cup of granulated sugar. This will give our brownies that perfect sweetness. And don't forget 2 large eggs, which will help bind everything together. Add in 1 teaspoon of pure vanilla extract. This little ingredient packs a big punch, adding depth and flavor to our brownies. Now measure out 1/2 cup of all-purpose flour. This will give our brownies structure and that perfect chewy texture. Don't forget the 1/3 cup of unsweetened cocoa powder. This is what makes our brownies rich and chocolatey. And a pinch of salt, about 1/4 teaspoon to balance the flavors. Finally, we need 1/2 cup of chocolate chips. These will melt into gooey pockets of chocolatey goodness throughout our brownies, see? Easy peasy. Now that we have our ingredients lined up like a posse ready for action, we're all set to start our baking adventure. Each ingredient has its own special role to play. So, gather your little helpers, roll up your sleeves, and let's move on to the fun part. Baking! Get ready to mix, stir, and create some magic in the kitchen. Let's make some memories, and of course, some delicious brownies. First, preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, or 175 degrees Celsius. This step is crucial because it ensures that your brownies will bake evenly. An oven that isn't properly preheated can lead to uneven cooking, which means some parts of your brownies might be undercooked while others could be overcooked. So, take the time to let your oven reach the right temperature before you start mixing your ingredients. Make sure that oven rack is in the center of the oven. This positioning allows for the best air circulation, which helps in baking your brownies evenly. If the rack is too high or too low, you might end up with brownies that are too crispy on the top or too gooey on the bottom. Centering the rack is a small but important detail that can make a big difference in the final product. Next, grease a baking pan. This step is essential to ensure that your brownies don't stick to the pan, making it easier to remove them once they're baked. You can use a variety of greasing methods, such as butter, cooking spray, or even parchment paper. Each method has its own benefits, but the key is to make sure the entire surface of the pan is well coated. An 8x8 inch pan works great. This size is perfect for creating brownies that are thick and chewy. If you use a larger pan, your brownies will be thinner and may cook faster. So keep that in mind if you decide to use a different size. The 8x8 inch pan is a standard size that most recipes are designed for, making it a reliable choice for consistent results. You can use butter or cooking spray to grease the pan. Butter adds a rich flavor to the edges of your brownies, while cooking spray is quick and easy to apply. Some people prefer to use parchment paper for an even easier release. Whichever method you choose, make sure to cover the entire surface of the pan, including the corners, to prevent any sticking. This will prevent the brownies from sticking. A well-greased pan ensures that your brownies will come out in one piece, making them look as good as they taste. It also makes cleanup a breeze, as you won't have to scrub off any stuck-on bits. Taking the time to properly grease your pan is a small step that pays off in the end. In a large bowl, melt the butter. Butter is a key ingredient in brownies, providing richness and moisture. Make sure to use unsalted butter so you can control the amount of salt in your recipe. Cut the butter into smaller pieces to help it melt more evenly and quickly. You can do this in the microwave or on the stovetop. If you choose the microwave, use a microwave-safe bowl and heat the butter in short bursts to avoid overheating. If you prefer the stovetop, use a small saucepan and melt the butter over low heat, stirring frequently to prevent it from burning. If using a microwave, heat in short bursts, stirring in between until melted. This method helps to evenly distribute the heat and prevents the butter from splattering or burning. Stirring in between bursts ensures that all the butter melts uniformly, giving you a smooth, consistent base for your brownies. If using the stovetop, use low heat and stir frequently. Melting butter on the stovetop gives you more control over the process, allowing you to monitor the butter closely. Stirring frequently helps to distribute the heat evenly and prevents the butter from browning or burning, which can affect the flavor of your brownies. Once the butter is melted, add the granulated sugar to the bowl and stir until it's well combined. The sugar will dissolve into the warm butter, creating a smooth, glossy mixture. This step is important because it helps to create the fudgy texture that brownies are known for. Make sure to stir thoroughly to ensure that the sugar is fully incorporated and there are no lumps. To make extra fudgy brownies, slightly underbake them. Keep a close eye on them in the oven and start checking for doneness a few minutes before the recommended baking time. A toothpick inserted into the center should come out with a few moist crumbs attached. That's the sign of a perfectly fudgy brownie. Let the brownies cool completely in the pan before cutting them into squares. This will help them set properly and prevent them from crumbling. Section 5. Time to devour those brownies. The moment we've all been waiting for is finally here. After all the mixing, baking, and cooling, it's time to enjoy the fruits of our labor. Gather around, everyone, because these brownies are ready to be devoured. Once the brownies have cooled, it's time for the best part: eating. The anticipation has been building, and now it's time to dig in. Watch as the kids eagerly reach for their favorite pieces, their faces lighting up with joy. There's something magical about that first bite, the way the rich chocolatey flavor melts in your mouth. These chocolatey squares of goodness are delicious on their own, but here are some scrumptious serving suggestions to take your brownie experience to the next level. Whether you prefer a classic combination or something a bit more adventurous, we've got you covered. Classic vanilla ice cream. A scoop of cold vanilla ice cream on top of a warm brownie is a match made in dessert heaven. The contrast between the hot, gooey brownie and the cold, creamy ice cream creates a delightful sensation that will have you coming back for more. It's a timeless pairing that never fails to impress. Whipped cream and berries. Add a dollop of whipped cream and some fresh berries for a touch of sweetness and freshness. The light, airy texture of the whipped cream complements the dense, fudgy brownie perfectly, while the berries add a burst of flavor and a pop of color. It's a simple yet elegant way to elevate your brownies. Chocolate sauce drizzle. Why not go all out with extra chocolate? Drizzle some warm chocolate sauce over the brownies for an extra decadent treat. The rich, velvety sauce adds an extra layer of indulgence, making each bite even more satisfying. It's a chocolate lover's dream come true. Caramel and sea salt. For a sophisticated twist, try drizzling caramel sauce over your brownies and sprinkling a pinch of sea salt on top. The sweet and salty combination is absolutely irresistible, creating a complex flavor profile that will tantalize your taste buds. It's a gourmet treat that's surprisingly easy to make. Peanut butter spread. If you're a fan of the classic peanut butter and chocolate combo, spread a layer of creamy peanut butter on your brownies. The nutty flavor pairs beautifully with the rich chocolate, creating a comforting and satisfying treat. It's a nostalgic favorite that never goes out of style. Mint chocolate chip. For a refreshing twist, sprinkle some mint chocolate chips on your brownies. The cool, minty flavor adds a refreshing contrast to the rich chocolate, making each bite feel light and invigorating. It's a perfect option for those who love a bit of minty freshness in their desserts. No matter how you choose to enjoy your brownies, the most important thing is to share them with friends and family. The joy of baking and eating together creates lasting memories and brings everyone closer. So go ahead, try out these delicious serving suggestions and make your brownie experience truly unforgettable. Section 6. Brownie decoration ideas for extra fun. Sprinkles. Before baking, sprinkle some colorful sprinkles over the batter for a festive touch. Chocolate chips. Press some extra chocolate chips into the top of the batter before baking for gooey pockets of chocolate in every bite. Powdered sugar dusting. Once the brownies have cooled, dust them with powdered sugar for a simple yet elegant look. Section 7. Sharing the brownie love. Brownies are best enjoyed with friends and family. Share your delicious creations with your loved ones and spread the brownie joy. Section 8. You did it! Congratulations, little bakers! You've successfully baked a batch of delicious brownies. Remember, practice makes perfect, so keep experimenting in the kitchen and trying out new things. And most importantly, have fun.